Hey guys, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps. Today I've made a card using the Merry Mail stamp and coordinating die along with some Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers to give that watercolor look. Now here is the stamp set. I used every image except for the falling snow and the door, one of the doors to the mailbox. So I have my watercolor paper in my MISTI. I'm just rubbing my hand all over the stamps because I haven't used these yet and I want my ink to stick to it. This is Honeybee Stamps Intense Black ink. It is watercolor friendly, so I'm going to be using that, inking this up a few times, making sure I get nice, good, crisp images. I'm going to bring in my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and I really love the look of these. They're so easy to color with. I'm using one color per color group and just using my water brush pen to blend it out. So for the red that I'm using here is geranium red. Then I used mid brown, and I'm going to use a light gray for this mailbox. Now I'm going to try to do all of the reds that I know for sure I'm going to color red because I don't want this to bleed. I want this to have enough time to dry. So I'm going to get most of the reds out of the way. So we've got this beautiful cardinal. I'm going to color it red. The other bird I'm going to color blue. I have two reds that I'm using, geranium red and carmine red. So I believe the bird is carmine red. The berries are going to be carmine red. The bow, I think, is carmine red, and then I think when I do presents later, those are going to be geranium red. They're just a little bit different. That carmine red kind of has more of a pink to it, and so I liked having the two different reds. I'm also going to be using green, Persian blue, Persian green, light blue, oatmeal ochre. The ochre that I'm using right here is for the gold, and I think it is a perfect gold color. So I'm going to do the bells. I'm going to be using the ribbon, doing the ribbons in gold. I think that's just a great plan because I think it just kind of ties all of the presents together. I'm using light gray on some of these envelopes. I will bring in some red later onto the stamps. I used the oatmeal on that little postcard because I thought that would make it feel kind of old. Using a green here for the stems and the greenery, and I'm just tracing over the lines of that, and I will bring in my water brush pen and just lightly blend it out. Being that I'm going to die cut around this, I felt like that was a good plan. Here's the light gray for the mailbox. Now that that red has dried, I feel like I can kind of maneuver around it and be kind of careful, but you don't want to drag in your other colors. So here is the open door. This is going to be open so we can have the packages inside. This coloring is, like I said, really super simple. I just like to use one color per family and then just use my water brush pen to blend it out, which makes it look like you've got 2 to 3 different colors depending on how you blend it. Now I'm going to color these cute packages that go inside of your mailbox. I think this stamp set is really darling because it gives you lots of different letters, different presents. You've got cute birds, you have greenery, you've got this great size mailbox. This really is a fantastic stamp set. There is going to be those little bulbs that are going to go around the base of the mailbox. I'm going to do that in gold as well. But here is a beautiful green, just blending out that present. I just love these Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. It really does make it super, super simple. Adding some more of that ochre to make a gold bow. Then I'm going to come in and color these presents red. I just really like the red on this because it pops. My idea is to just make this kind of look old and vintagey, hence the vintage holiday from Honeybee Stamps. I think that's a great name. And all of these images just really lend to that, obviously. And you can do any color combinations to even give it a more modern feel. But I really wanted this to feel kind of old. So we're going to be doing a lot of aging to this, a lot of splattering effects, which is really going to make it a lot of fun. We're going to make it super shimmery when this is all done. So I'm going to finish just coloring, and then I will use the coordinating dies to die cut out all of these images. I'm just going to use some low tack tape to tape that in place and run that through my die cut machine. Now I'm going to use my little X-Acto knife and just cut a slit in my mailbox so my little packages and everything can slide in easily. You don't have to do this, you can just adhere it to, but I like to make it look like it's actually tucked in there, so I'm going to tuck it in there. First, I'm going to glue the front of the mailbox to this, and then I can slide my other little packages and presents into there. Then I'm just trying to figure out if I want to have any greenery coming out, but I actually decided to put that at the bottom of the mailbox base. Now the real funny thing is I got real excited about gluing everything together. So I adhered everything down and then realized that I didn't add color to my white background, which was in my mind from the beginning. So I'm going to show you that I adhered everything, then I will take it off camera, and then I'm going to adhere it back on, but it'll all be good. I'll show you in between. So I'm going to glue on those cute little bulbs. They can be little balls, they can be lights, depending on how you want to color them, of course. Just using my Honeybee Stamps reverse tweezers to adhere these in place. I'm going to adhere the bells coming out. I did glue in a little envelope as well. So here I'm just getting all excited and gluing my piece down. Thankfully, I just used a tape runner, so I was able to peel up everything pretty easily. I think one little spot on the paper tore, but it was going to be covered back up, so it really didn't matter. So I'm just tucking in the greenery and the berries at the bottom. I did add some foam tape behind that large red present because I did want that to have a little bit of dimension. And I'm just tucking everything in and around. I'm going to bring in that red cardinal and put him at the bottom. I will tuck in the blue and green present down here, and along with that postcard, because I think that postcard is so darling. So I'm going to tuck that in. I'm going to pull out some more of this greenery, and I think you just have to play with your layout. I think usually you have a general idea of what you want, but then you just kind of have to play with it. So I'm going to tuck that berry in, put that bird on foam tape, and then I will trim off the excess from the sides and the bottom. I do like having my images go off because it makes the scene feel like it's going on past your card panel. Okay, so then I took all my pieces off and decided that I needed to use the light blue. I'm just going to do a little bit of a wash, not even over the whole cardstock, just kind of where all of the images are going to be, but a little bit wider past that so you can see a little bit of that color. And I know it's super light, but it really did make a huge difference in person. I'm not sure that you're going to see it as well on camera. But once this is dry, I'm going to put all of my images back in place. So now we're going to do tons of splattering. So I am using the Distress Spray Stain of Picket Fence and Black Soot, and then I'm going to use the Distress Oxide Spray in Salvaged Patina, and I'm going really heavy with the white Picket Fence. Like, I wanted a ton of it on the background. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to use my blow dryer to dry that a little bit because I don't want the Black Soot to mix and make a gray color. I'm not going to go as heavy-handed with the black, obviously. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. Then I'm going to come in with the Distress Oxide Spray Salvaged Patina, and I'm not going to spray it on there. I'm just using a little paintbrush, and I'm going to go kind of heavy with this as well. I want it to feel old, snowy, just distressed in general. The last thing I'm going to use is the Imagine Shimmer Craft Spray. I'm going to spray it one time. After I dry this first, I'm going to spray it really good one time, dry it with my heat tool, and then I'm going to spray it again because I want the whole thing to be super shimmery. This is really hard to see on camera, but you guys, it is so shimmery and beautiful in person. Everything is exactly the same shimmer because I did it to all of the images. I think you can see it the most on the mailbox. Now I have that in my MISTI. I'm going to stamp the sentiment Merry Christmas. This is from the Inside Holiday Sentiments, and I did that with black ink, and we are done. Super simple, beautiful, vintage looking Christmas card, and there you can see that shimmer, I hope. And it just turned out so beautiful. I want to thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.